So welcome. I know folks are still joining us, but I appreciate you joining us on time. My name is Bernadette Austin, and I am the director of the Regional Small Business Utilization Center. So happy that folks are joining us today. I am joined by an excellent panel, and we'll be introducing them momentarily. But first, I wanted to share a little bit about some of the programs that you'll be hearing about later on. There we go. So wanted to note a couple things. This webinar is being recorded, so think about that as you frame your questions. As you may expect, we request that you mute your microphone so that folks can hear you clearly. Introduce yourself, so we'll be inviting you to do so momentarily. Please do take notes of any insights, and you can submit your questions using the Q&A box. If you're not familiar, it's at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you don't see it, you can click on the circle with 3 dots that says more. So you should be able to see that. So first of all, of course, we'd like to thank our program sponsors, including SMUD, who's represented here today, the Sierra Health Foundation, and the California Office of the Small Business Advocate under GoBiz. We also want to thank our key outreach partners, Associated General Contractors of California. You'll be hearing from Kayla Montgomery momentarily. So first of all, who's in the room? We're going to launch a poll. So please feel free to respond. I also invite our speakers to respond as well. And so I'm going to be setting that up in just a moment. In the meantime, you can look at the webinar chat and follow the prompt and introduce yourself. So just a couple of questions. First, we'd like to know, what industry do you work in? We'll take a minute to let people respond. All right, not surprisingly, the top responses so far are residential, retail, and commercial. We have a lot of folks who are working on publicly funded projects. Looks like about half of folks so far. All right, can we move on to the next question? Okay, so I'll share the results for you so you'll be able to see that. We've got a couple other questions. I'd like to know, where are you all hailing from? But as you can see, you might see folks who work in similar industries as you. Maybe you're one of our unique folks working in areas like industrial or transportation or new construction. All right. Am I doing this correctly? Are there additional? There we go. Okay. So I think there should be another question. All right. So now we'd like to know geographically where you're hailing from. So this can be where your office is. If you work in more than one area, we'd be happy to hear that as well. All right, great. So the answers are coming in. It looks like the majority of people are working in Sacramento County, but quite a few folks also work outside of the capital region. All right, and remind me, I think, do we have one more question, or is this it for the questions? Let me go ahead and stop sharing. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sharing the results. So now you can see them as well. All right, great. Well, I am going to move us along. So appreciate you letting us know who's in the room. Ah, here we go. One more. So we'll do this one question, then we'll move on. So please tell us about your workforce size, the references in peak season, right? So at your largest, it looks like we have folks who come from large employers. We do have folks who are small firms, self-employed up to 5 employees. All right, looks like we have a good, there we go, thanks. So it looks like we have a pretty good distribution. So we do have small, medium, and large. Excellent, thanks for responding to that. Okay, so I'm gonna close the polling and have us keep moving things along. Let's see, moving here. There we go. So just a little bit about the Asian Chamber. We are the organization that has launched the Regional Small Business Utilization Center. There's a little bit more information about us. We've worked on a variety of regional as well as statewide efforts. You might recognize some programs there. We work in public policy and we also offer membership. So participation in the Regional Small Business Utilization Center doesn't have any costs associated with it. You're welcome to participate. Membership with the chamber is affordable and based on the size of your organization. So if you'd like to learn more, feel free to drop a note in the chat or follow up with us via email. And to tell you a little bit more about some of the programs that we offer. So when we talk about these free programs, we do have a LinkedIn style dedicated site called Opportunity Link. If you're interested in learning more, please drop a note in the chat or shoot us an email. This is an example of our program manager, Andrea Cow's site. So you can see what this looks like. It's very easy to set up, and we actually are scheduling one-on-one times for folks to get set up. And to show you with some of the things that are offered on Opportunity Link, they offer dedicated AI to help you fill out RFPs and RFIs. We have heard a lot of enthusiasm about this, and you can see to the right some of the examples of where you plug in information and it will provide you with a great template that is, nearly completed in many cases. And just to share with you what you can access, our organization is inputting a lot of opportunities for bids. And then this is a snapshot of nationally some of the opportunities for some of the federal funding opportunities that have been unlocked using the Opportunity Link platform. And as you can see, two of our big partners, UC Regents, of course, through UC Davis, as well as Hensel Phelps, which was the general contractor who co-hosted our event in April, are two of the biggest awardees. And you can also see on the left side some of the other companies. So all of that have received federal funding through Opportunity Link bid opportunities. So really, it's a really powerful platform. Just wanted to share some highlights with you about that. If you look in the chat, there's information about my colleague, Andrea Cow, who can help you get set up either with a one-on-one appointment or some technical assistance to support this. But now I'm going to turn this over to Annette Smith. She is a trusted advisor and partner, not just for the chamber, but for me as well. It's been a pleasure to work with her. And I'm actually going to, in the interest of time, hand it over to you to introduce who our speakers are for today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Bernadette. And I am super honored to be here with all of you today and to moderate this incredible panel. As you can see on the screen, we have TJ Chen, the Chief Administrative Officer from the Sacramento International Airport, who has a multi-billion-dollar building project going on right now. He's going to join us in a little bit. We also have Jessica Shevlin, who is the Manager of Procurement Services and Contract Compliance with SAC Regional Transit. Thank you so much for being here. And Kayla Montgomery, absolutely not the last and least, who is the Senior Industry Advancement Manager for the Association of General Contractors. And we are here today to talk about something I think that's probably near and dear to all of our hearts, and that is our goal is to give you clear, honest insights from the people who actually are participating in the bid awards, bid review, award contracts, and work with local contractors to help you be successful. Opportunity Link is a great tool to help find opportunities for you, contracting opportunities, but it's these people and their teams that are actually focused on your success when you complete a proposal. So government contracting can feel confusing sometimes. I was reviewing a contract or an RFP just on Monday, and just the way some of the language was worded, and I do this for a living, right? So the way some of the language was worded was so confusing to me, like it just baffled me. So we're going to hopefully help break down some of those silos today and show you where the opportunities are, what to avoid, and how to build strong relationships with public agencies and general contractors. We're going to keep the slides light. You're going to get some information from each agency, but we really want this to be interactive and to answer the questions that you've got on your mind that keep you up at night, that help that you're concerned with how you move your business forward, how you grow and scale your business in this space. especially for those in the small to medium category. How do you get to be like the big guys, right? And contracting is one of the ways to do that. So we want to make sure that you are using either the chat, which we're going to monitor, or the Q&A box that's at the bottom or maybe top of your screen, depending on your setup, where you can ask your questions in real time. We will do our best to answer those in real time, but if not, we may have to send you a follow-up response just in the interest of time. As a reminder, this session is being recorded so that if we do miss something or we go too quickly through something, you can view it later. And for anyone who wasn't able to attend from your teams that you might want to share the information with. So with that, are we ready to get going? All right, let's start with Jessica and what's happening at Regional Transit. Slides, please.
Oh, click.
Okay, that's okay. We can start with AGC and Kayla.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll be
absolutely.
back.
Perfect. Thank you, Jessica and Annette. Okay, so hello everyone. We're so happy to be here with you today. Just to give a brief introduction to who the Associated General Contractors are. We are a large construction association, actually the largest in the state of California. We have over 900 construction companies in our membership. And we also, the work that I do is powered through the Construction Education Foundation, who is partnering with the Regional Small Business Utilization Center to host these webinars and multiple events throughout the rest of the next couple months. And so up here is just really our mission for the CEF and why it's important that I share it with you is that this mission drives the work that we do, not just regionally, but throughout the state of California. We believe that careers in construction transform lives. We connect people and communities to meaningful work and rewarding futures. We inspire the construction industry to be a place where people belong, grow, and build lasting legacies. What I get the privilege of leading for the foundation is all of our work in the supplier diversity space and diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for the industry at large. So what we're interested in is being able to bolster the community of small businesses like you that are in the room today, knowing that your success is vital to the success of the overall infrastructure demands and our industry as a whole. And so we are deeply invested in meeting you where you're at and partnering with you in your growth curve, regardless of whether you're a member with us or not. This is an investment that we take because we believe these things on the screen, so that our industry as a whole continues to grow and is the best version of itself moving forward. You can go to the next slide. So a key component of how we do this, since 2020, we have had originally it started as a task force, but now it is a steering committee. And essentially, those faces you see on the screen are representatives from our member companies, most of which are a part of the large general contracting community. And you'll see their companies represented here. But really, this is our thought partnership in the work that we do in the supplier diversity space, right? So it's not just AGC's perspective, but it's really the collective perspective of the genius in the room of all of these people on our steering committee that are driving the work that we're doing in industry. So we're bringing them out of their own individual roles, looking at their expertise and saying, how do we equip our industry as a whole to be, again, the best version of itself. So what we do in the sub space, we call it small underrepresented businesses. You can go to the next slide. There's a lot of programs that we put on, but essentially, again, what we're thinking about is how do we partner with each individual company at the place that's going to help them take that best next step. So we do quarterly forums. We have an academy where it's a capacity building component. We do a large small business construction expo every year in Long Beach. So there's lots of things that we do, but this is just a general overview. And the last thing I'll say is that prior to my work at AGC, I did work for a general contractor in this space as well. And so I'm looking forward to the conversation today.
Awesome, Kayla. Thank you so much for joining us today. That was great information. And just can you go back one quick slide, Andrea? For the group, I just want to highlight that so much about the work that you're doing, that you're responsible for, isn't just at the bid opportunities. That's not where the relationship starts. Where the relationship starts is showing up to events like the one that Hensel Phelps hosted for us in April, the Small Business Construction Expo in August in Long Beach that Kayla just highlighted. And I know it can be tough as a small business to take time away from your business or to travel, but those are the things that can make a difference for you as you're having conversations with prime contractors that can make a difference in your success going forward. So I just wanted to highlight that piece. So thank you, Kayla. All right, Andrea, next up, we've got Regional Transit. Jessica, take it away.
Thank you very much, Annette. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Jessica Shevlin. I'm the Manager of Procurement Services, Contract Compliance, and Supplier Diversity at SBUC. I wanted to share with you, we use Planet Bids for our e-procurement system. So if you are interested in doing business with SBUC, that would be your first step, is to sign up as a vendor. And the links are, you're going to get a copy of this presentation, so you'll have all the links. They'll all be active links. And I do have a number of slides I'm going to talk through, but I really go in depth in all of these things at my How to Do Business with SBUC webinars. The next one isn't until August, but I encourage you to sign up if you're interested in hearing more from me. And you can always email me and ask me any questions that you might have. I've also curated a pretty extensive resource page for small businesses and DBEs. It's got all of the chambers listed, the SBDCs, the Apex accelerators, things like that. So it's a really great page that I've spent a lot of time really making sure that I get as much information on there as possible. Another resource that I wanted to share with you, I'm the board chair of the Sacramento Public Agency Consortium. We're a group of agencies, including Caltrans, SMUD, who's on the call today, the County of Sacramento, County of Placer, a number of the chambers, Apex accelerators, things like that. We're an amazing group. We put on an event in October. So if you're interested in that, please shoot me an email and I can get you the information. You can check out our website. Registration is not open until probably towards the end of July, since it's an October event. Next slide, please, Andrea. So when you're looking at contracting with different agencies, it's really important to identify which agencies buy what you're selling. So when you're looking at SAC-RT, we don't buy medical equipment, but we buy office supplies, and we have, preventive maintenance needs for our equipment, and we have inventory and all kinds of different things. And we also do construction along the, along the light rail or at our different facilities. So when you're looking at targeting agencies to do business with, make sure that they buy what you're selling. Next slide, please. So some current solicitations that are on Planet Bids, part of my slide. Can you click one more time and see if the bottom of the slide comes up? It shouldn't have a, no, go back one. I don't know why the bottom part isn't there, but current solicitations on Planet Bids that are expiring. I took a screenshot yesterday. That's just what's up right now. Some of the future ones that we have, there's the low floor platform conversion. It's a lot of concrete work where they're raising the platform up a little higher to meet our new low floor trains. So that's coming out probably in the next couple months. It's going to be an IFB, and there's a construction management portion to it. So there's going to be an IFB for construction and an RFP for construction management. Another big construction project that's in the works, but it's going to be a year or two maybe away, is the Sac Valley Station relocation. We have to adjust where the train comes into the station now on an east-west axis, and they have to switch it to north-south to get our train out of the way of some of the work that's going to be done at Sac Valley Station. So that's going to be a big construction project. And then sometime in the future, I don't know when, I don't know what the timeline is streetcar is going to happen. It's kind of gone through some little loops and threads to, challenges to funding and things like that, but it's sounding like streetcar is going to happen. So that's going to be another really big construction solicitation that will be coming up at SAC-RT. Next slide, please. So My SAC-RT diversity and contracting programs, we do have federal funding, so we follow the DBE program, and I'm going to continue running that program until I am told not to. And I also run the small and local business program. So if you are a certified small business, or if you are a local business in the 6-county area and your principal place of business is in the 6-county area, you can get a preference on the solicitation if it's not federal. If it's federal, it's DBE. We are fully race neutral, so we don't have any contract goals. Caltrans has contract goals, but we don't. But I've seen a lot of DBE participation regardless, because I really advocate. I go to the pre-bid meetings and I say, hey, primes, I know there's no goal, but do me a solid and hire some DBEs. And I've seen a lot of race neutral participation that way. So we do run those programs. Next slide. I'm trying to rush through so that I make sure that we get to your guys' questions. So some tips for success. Annette said this earlier, government contracting is really confusing. Sometimes the language is like, what are they saying? Sometimes we'll forget something. We'll forget a step in scope of work or something like that. You're in the industry, you know, you're going to see maybe something that we don't. So take time to make sure that you're understanding the solicitation document, what the requirements are, and ask questions if you don't understand something, if you feel like something's missing, if something doesn't make sense, if the language is funky and you're like, not quite sure what the sentence means, can you clarify? Please ask questions. Our e-procurement platform has a Q&A feature. I'm sure that all of the other ones do too. I don't have experience with them, but I'm sure that they do. It's part of the deal. So don't be afraid to ask questions. It's really, really important that you understand what you're getting yourself into with government contracting. Next slide, please. So as far as meeting with primes, there are a number of ways that you can get to know primes. You can go to the events that are hosted by the different chambers and associations and things like that. But you can also go into the e-procurement systems and look at current and past solicitations to see who the primes are on the prospective bidders list and who actually bid. That will tell you who wants to do business with each agency that you're looking at. You can do it in Planet Bids for SAC-RT and the other agencies that use it. I know you can do it in Cali Procure. You can look at past solicitations. So it's really important to do that. If there's a certain agency specifically that you want to do business with, look, do some research. You can always ask me for help if you're having problems, trying to research, but it's pretty user friendly. But finding those primes and networking with them ahead of time and saying, hey, I see that you are on the prospective bidders list at SAC-RT a lot. I would like to work with them. I would like to work with you. Let's talk. Okay. It's really important. And then make sure that you're putting yourself on the prospective bidders list. If there is a solicitation that comes up and you're interested in it, put yourself on there, designate yourself as a sub, and then show up at the pre-bid meeting. It's really, really important for primes to see the subs that are interested. If you show up, they're more likely to want to talk to you, okay? Because you've taken the time to come and learn about the project, hear about the project, and be there to network with them. Next slide, please. For bid and proposal submissions, the most important thing that I would say, especially in contracting, is make sure that you can meet the insurance and bonding requirements before you submit a bid or proposal. We have a current solicitation right now where we may have to reject the awarded bidder because they can't meet the insurance requirements that were clearly spelled out in the contract. So it's really important that you review everything and make sure that you can meet all of the requirements of that solicitation. Give yourself ample time to submit your bid. These e-procurement systems take time. It takes time to upload. Don't wait till the last minute. Make sure that you're reviewing your bid forms to make sure that your math is right. If there's a handwritten bid form, make sure you're signing everything. Make sure that you're reading what you're filling out. If there's a yes or no question, this or this, and you pick both, that tells us you didn't read that form and we're going to reject that form. That has actually happened. So make sure you're reading what you're signing. And make sure to acknowledge all addenda, because if there is an addendum that is released after you have submitted your bid, it will invalidate your bid if you don't say, yes, I've seen this addendum, I see what the changes are, my bid is still valid, please send my bid through. It's really important. And I think that goes for all of them, all the e-procurement systems. Here's a list of resources. You will get this list. It's got all the stuff that I've talked about today. Next slide, please. And then this is all the contact information for myself. I'm the one at the top, and then my full procurement department. You can contact me and tell me what you do, and I'll tell you who you can network with. But the most important thing in public works, everything goes through Planet Bids. So if you are in the construction sector, you're going to have to sign up for Planet Bids, and talking to these people isn't going to really help. Talking to me is going to help, though, because I'll help you sign up for Planet Bids. Next slide.
Jessica, thank you so much for that information. That was fantastic. I know it was fast for everyone. You will get the slides later and all of those really important links. I love the tips and tricks that Jessica shared because they apply across the board to every single agency. And then Andrea put into the chat that you want to attend the pre-bid meetings. Also, there's usually a point of contact in all of the RFPs or IFBs or whatever they're called if you have questions. The proposal I was reviewing on Monday references a proposal form that literally no one on our team can find. We have Googled it, we have searched it, we searched the agency procurement site. We cannot find this form that they're referencing. So that was one of our first questions that we sent into them. So either there's a challenge or something missing in their proposal RFP, or there's something that it doesn't exist, it changed or whatever. So make sure that you're attending the pre-bid meetings and asking the questions when you have them so that you are able to respond effectively to the proposals. So next up, we've got TJ Chen from the airports. TJ, we've got maybe 10 minutes. For your portion. I know you've got a lot of great information to share, but the great thing is we will be sharing the slide deck. And then please, for the audience, if you have questions, let's start popping those into the Q&A section, because we're going to, after TJ finishes, we're going to open up for questions. So let's get those in there. All right, TJ, thanks for joining. Take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little late. I'm a little bit double booked this morning, and thanks, Annette. And I think Jessica, you provide a lot of great tips and tricks when it comes to public contracting. So I'll cover more on the a high level of all the contracting methods that the Department of Airports uses to deliver our capital program. So go ahead, next slide. Just the key topics I'll be covering this morning. I'll give a high-level overview of our current large $1.4 billion program that we're executing. I just learned that the Sacramento County just approved our fiscal year 25-26 budget, and our capital program made up almost 50% of the county's $3 billion capital program. So we're running a very sizable program, and we use all the delivery methods that's available to us through the California State Contracting Code, and I'll cover those. And I'll point out some key points about how do we create opportunities for trades and subcontractors and local small businesses. So, and also my colleague will be presenting in the upcoming webinar on more on purchasing and procurement on goods and services. And so definitely want to ask all of you to keep your eyes out for those, and it's going to be a great session in a future webinar. So next slide. So SM4, our large or huge capital program, $1.4 billion. We're under a lot of pressure to deliver everything that's in this program by 2028. That's a pressure we're under, and it consists of 7 major projects and a 1 or 2 enabling projects. So go through very quickly. Pedestrian walkway is currently underway, $140 million budget, and we'll have to get it done by first quarter 2026. We're using CMAR, construction manager at risk as a delivery method. Next project is a neutral augmentation project. It's an enabling project for us to expand Concourse B. Concourse B is the building to the left of this diagram. Small project. We're about a third way into this project, and we need to get it done by first quarter 2026. And the Concourse B 6-gate expansion right now is in RFQ, so I won't be able to speak too much about it. Go to our county's procurement website, OpenGov, and look up the information for Concourse B expansion. $390 million project, very complex, but also very fast-paced project we have to deliver. Included in the same procurement is our Terminal A baggage handling system improvements. Again, it's under RFQ right now, so I won't be able to speak too much about it. look at the RFQ. If any questions, submit those in writing per the instruction listed in the RFQ. Next slide. The diagram here is a bird's eye view of our of the SM4 program. And also another project is well underway is our parking garage project to the west of Terminal B, $390 million budget. Construction has started last year. It's going really well. I see progress every day, so we're super excited about the new parking garage. Quickly follow, hopefully we'll follow the construction of parking garage. It's our exit roadway. It's just a little bit further west to the garage, proposed garage. And that is scheduled to go out for bidding probably mid-August. So definitely, if you're a paving contractor, you're interested, or you're sub to a paving contractor, definitely keep your eyes out for the Terminal Exit Roadway project. Initially, we were going to couple the ground transportation center with a Terminal A Exit Roadway project. We decided to decouple that, and there's more design analysis we need to do with the ground transportation center. So more to come on that, but definitely keep your eyes out for that project. And lastly, it's another project that's currently on the RQRP process. It's our consolidated rental car facility. Will be located just south of the existing parking garage. Again, a huge project, $390 million. And we're going through a RQRP process. And unfortunately, we have already shortlisted, but we're pretty sure that once we identify a developer/contractor, they were helping us put out subcontracting opportunities, because there will be plenty of construction activity, plenty of equipment need to be procured, and also potentially a service provider that we potentially will be procuring under the consolidated rental car facility procurement. So that's a high-level overview of our $1.4 billion SM4 program. If you visited the airport recently, and yes, I'm the guy creating a lot of mess around the airport, changing roadways and causing chaos. But if you have any questions, feel free to visit our program website, smforward.com. It has all the latest project information and also procurement opportunities for our program. So next slide. All right, I'll talk very quickly through all the delivery methods that we use to contract for public works projects at the airport. So essentially, for most of capital project, I would say 90% of our capital project, we deliver them through a design bid build process. Essentially, the owner will hold two contracts, one for the designer, one for the general contractor, as you see the middle column of the diagram on the right. And we also use a sort of simplified version of a design build delivery method. It's called CUPCA, the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act. I know it's a mouthful, and there's more limitations, restrictions on CUPCA delivery method. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, since I've been here, or also probably a few years before I started with Sac County, about 10 years ago, we really have leveraged job order contracting. It's a infinite quantity delivery method, but it's still a low bid process. We have been very successful, especially working with a small contractor, helping them grow from a $1 million annual contract. Now our job program, it's a 5 contract, $6 million each type of contract. And we have a lot of internal discussion right now, because the contract value has grown to be $5 million. How do we find a way to lower the contract value so we can create additional opportunity for smaller contractors to able to get themselves bond insured to bid on our job order contract? So it may not happen this year, but that's something definitely on our horizon that we want to find a way to continue to leverage job order contracting as a way to create opportunity for small and local businesses.
Okay. TJ, quick question.
Sure.
It's amazing. Like, I knew about the parking garage. I wasn't aware of all the other very large scale projects that you have going on at the airport. We have one question I think it's a good time for, and it's given the scale and complexity of the airport projects, what specific qualifications or past performance indicators do you expect general contractors to prioritize when selecting subs?
Basically, they're the subject matter expert in the specific trade or subcontractor work, subcontracting work, whether it's a design bid build contract, CMA contract, and design build contract. They're building a team. A team comes with a very specific team of trades and subcontractors that have to bring very specific expertise and knowledge and that have proven track record in deliver a very specific area of work, and that's what that's what we expect of the general contractor, because we evaluate them as a whole team and who to bring on board and with the demonstrated ability in areas of expertise is very important to us as an owner, because we can't afford for very large complex projects using our project as a training ground for subs trade. That's just a luxury we don't have. That's why we're very intentional on creating other contract opportunities such as JOC and CUPCA. This is where we have the opportunity to be more patient, to work with a smaller contractor, help them grow and help them learn about public works contracting process and procedures.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Great
for
question.
that answer. Do you have much more to share, or can we jump into questions?
Let me see. Let me run through a couple more slides.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just highlight a couple points, maybe take a few more minutes. These are just public contracting requirements, allow us to do different methods of for contracting. My advice to all the contract out there, make sure you are very familiar with the public contracting code, because that's what we absolutely have to adhere to. And this will help you, hopefully, if you have some general understanding of all the public contracting codes. I won't go through all the details of all the public contracting codes, so you can go move on to the next slide. I'll just highlight, definitely I'll highlight this. This slide provides a little bit of detail, what contracting delivery method or contracting method we use for which type of projects. Larger projects, obviously, we use either design bid build or the alternate delivery method, because we have to reduce some of the owner's risk when it comes to very complex projects. So this provides a highlight what the different contracting methods we use for different type of projects. And I think I won't go to this just sake of time. There's a reason why we use CMAR. Really, is we hire CMAR. Most importantly is to engage substance and trade. There's a spelling error here. I'll correct that with Annette and Andrea. About contracting opportunities, we hired CMAR to help us do the procurement for sub and trades. We work very close with our CMAR to ensure that we are providing opportunity for the local and small businesses. That's something we're very focused on. That's the reason why we like CMAR, because it gives us an opportunity to work with a general contractor to help create opportunity for local small businesses. So this is one slide I want to highlight, that why we use the CMAR.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. I'll end here and definitely open up for Q&A.
Okay. All right. Oh, I love the rabbit. Okay, so this is a question. It came in during TJ's, but we're going to ask it of all of you. What are the most common reasons subs stand out or get skipped during the bidding and pre-qualification process?
I think that might be a question for Kayla, if you are in contact with Primes, because SBUC doesn't pre-qualify subcontractors. Primes pick their subcontractors on their own. We have no say over it. And the only subcontractors that go through our actual pre-qualification process are subs who are doing 25% or more of the work on that contract. The smaller subcontractors, we don't do any kind of pre-qualification for. So as long as they're, they have their contractor's license that's required for the work, and, they're bonded and insured and all of that, then we're good. So I don't know if anybody else has anything to add to that.
Yeah, Kayla, did you have something to add for that one?
Yeah, I think that, so just to kind of give a little bit of context, before my days at AGC, actually, when I started with the PCL construction in Southern California, my first project was managing these deliverables for the CONRAC at the LAX airport. So that was a $1.4 billion job. We had a 22% small business, 20% local business, 5% local small business, and a 5% disabled veteran business enterprise school. So all of that to say, I was getting flashbacks as TJ was talking, but I think that, when one of the things that I would say is that at the end of the day, and this is not going to be news to anyone on the call, but construction is a relationship business, right? And I think on that has boxed a lot of opportunities out for small businesses in other seasons of our industry. And I think now we see a lot of agencies and large GCs working together to create opportunities with intentionality, right? And at the end of the day, if a contractor is managing the risk, right, and the relationship with their owner, they are going to be mindful of, who they're working with, right? So I think the question becomes, how do you, as a small business who hasn't worked with the GC before, or you're seeing these projects for the SRT and for the airport, and you've never done work there, right? So I think there's a little bit of kind of looking at your business honestly in the mirror and understanding, what is the largest project that you've completed to date? And this is a really sexy, billion-dollar capital improvement project. And understanding where you're at and how to scale in partnership with the GCs that you're working with becomes a really important process, right? Because we see that small businesses are more susceptible to closing their doors when they are too eager in feast mode rather than in famine mode, right? So when there's a lot of project opportunity and you're not calculating, do I actually have the ability to man up for 5 projects when I've only ever managed 2 projects at a time, right? So it's a both and. You have to be aware of where you're at today, know kind of what is realistic with where you're headed, and plan accordingly. So that's a lot. I'll pause for others to chime in, but I do think that that is a very important part of public contracting, because once you get that project opportunity, how you perform and your ability to be successful does make an impact for your long-term success in the public contracting space. So
I think that was a fantastic answer, because as a entrepreneur, you want to do all the things, right?
Exactly.
Like your eyes light up and the dollar signs start going. And it's like, I want to apply for everything, just in case I don't get anything, right? But what if you did get all 5, right? What does that look like for you? Have you thought through that piece? So really important. I think it's awesome that all of your organizations have resources and support for your small business partners. And of course, I have to do a shout out for the Asian Chamber and the Small Business Utilization Center that also has resources for all of you on the call today. If you find yourself in that position, you want to you want to think through your sustainability, let us help you do that. Okay. Let's see. I know, Jessica, like, what's happening?
I just noticed that my logo is backwards and I don't know how to fix it because I'm not a tech person. I'm a help person. So I was trying to fix it and clicking on things. And
on my side, it looks perfect.
It's cute. Oh, so, good. For me, it looks backwards. Okay, good. It's good for you guys.
You have your camera mirrored, but on our side, it's fine. Anyway.
Okay, good.
So one question I have in the time that we have left, and I'd like all of you to weigh in, is if someone is brand new to government contracting, what's one first step you would recommend they take this month to get ready? Jessica?
So I would say, first of all, if you are not certified as a small business with the Department of General Services, get certified, because it's super quick and easy compared to like the DBE certification. That's a much longer process, but get yourself certified if you qualify as a small business, because DGS turns them around really quick. So that would be number 1 for me.
Okay, awesome. Certification with DGS. Anyone else?
I can keep talking if needed.
TJ?
Just real quick, really understand the scope and the contract requirements. Read the plans specs carefully. For us, we had such a large program, and also we also run $100 million CIP program concurrently with our $1.4 billion program. So unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of waiting for a contractor on the contract to be ready. Once we're outside the contract, we expect them to get ready and start delivering work. So under the contract, understand your obligations when it comes to a contract application requirements. We as a owner, we take that very seriously, and we don't like to get into claims process or liquidated damage process, but we have to do it. And so we don't like to get into those situations, but we will try to help, especially local small businesses as much as we can. But you have to understand the contract, and we don't take exception to the contract.
I'm smiling because I'm thinking of when I was in another industry and someone had filed suit against the organization because they said we didn't give them something that we weren't required to give them. And I was thinking to myself, the one thing you don't want to do as a contractor is to have the prime be sued for something, right, that you did or didn't do. Like, that's just not where you want to be. Nor do you want to be the organization filing suit, because it's just not going to foster a good relationship, right, going forward. So that is great information, TJ. Thank you. Kayla.
Yeah, I think Jessica did mention this, so I'm just going to amplify and add a plus to this. But one of the things that is so vitally important, and I think really maximizes any networking. Look, we know that as a small business owner or leader, you have at least 5 hats on at all times, right? So if you're at a networking event, we know that it's pulling from other places. And so in order for you to maximize that opportunity to build a new relationship, it's so important that you do your research ahead of time to know what you're selling, does what your specialty, is it needed for that agency or for that prime contractor, right? So when I was in the GC role, if a contractor came to me and said, hey, what do you do, right? That wasn't the greatest entry point for building, in a 10-minute conversation, a deep connection. Whereas when I had a small business owner come up to me and say, hey, I see that you're in these 5 markets, you're doing project at these 2 places, I've done work with this subcontractor that it looks like you do a lot of work with, how can we start the conversation on that footing? It just builds, you go deeper faster, and the impression is much different when it comes back to me then taking that to my estimating team and saying, hey, let's do a lunch and learn to get this business connected to the next step for us.
That is fantastic advice. You can never get a second chance to make a good first impression, right? And what you shared almost made me think of like when you're interviewing for a job, right? Same thing, do your research on the organization, make sure that you can speak to it eloquently, and make sure you have your elevator speech, right? Your 30-second, this is who I am, this is what my business is. And frankly, if you can't figure it out, Chat GPT will help you. I'm just saying, it's a great tool. It will help you.
Yeah, I always pull on the late great Maya Angelou for this, right? People will forget what you said, but they won't forget the way you made them feel. And so when you can go deeper faster, it really goes a long way in building a new relationship.
I love that. I also believe people want to be seen, heard, and valued. And if you come knowing something about them and their organization, LinkedIn is your best friend in this space. As well as their corporate websites, whatever that looks like for them. It demonstrates that you actually have a personal interest, right, in who they are, and that you see them and value them for their expertise. So absolutely spot on. I could speak all day about that. But we do have a question. Where do you see the most need for capacity building in the pool of subs that you encounter? Nassim is on it today with the questions. Like...
So I can say one thing. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in, seeing how subs can grow their business, but we did have a contract with a firm that had never been a prime before. They had previously been subcontractors on all these, they'd been a prime for small projects, but they bid on a really big project and they had a big pool of subs, and they did not manage the project very well. So if you are looking to build your capacity to the point where you become a prime, learn about project management, learn about how to manage a team, construction management, things like that. Take courses, whatever it is that you need to do, hire the right person to do that for you, because it really affected the project, both on their side and our side. So that's one way that I would say to potentially build your capacity if you're looking to move from like a sub to a prime role.
Okay, awesome. Anyone else?
I'll just mention that since my department managed 4 airports in the county, we're definitely challenged with contractor that has experience working at an airport. It's a constrained and a highly secure environment. This is the reason why we're very intentionally continue to use job order contracting program, allow smaller contractor to gain that experience. And I want to say that those experience does equate to or will pave the path for more opportunity, because airport construction is a specialized and specialized skill set. What is, like Jessica mentioned about project management skills, you have to add another layer of how to manage project in an airport environment, in a highly visible environment, where you have a million passengers coming through your job site every month. So we also see the same handful of contractors bid on projects. I love to see more, and so definitely leverage whether it's our CupCut or JOC or even smaller design build projects. Just don't be shy and absolutely take a stab at it.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you all so much. We've got a few minutes left. We've got some housekeeping to do before we wrap up. I want to throw it out there and ask the participants, the attendees, I can't see you, but if you have any last questions for this great panel. This is your chance. I'm guessing that they're pretty busy people and you can't always get to them on a regular basis. So here at the Chamber, we bring them to you so you have access. While you may be typing, I do want to give a shout out to Andrea, who's doing a fabulous job at keeping us on task and on target and dropping some great information for all of you into the chat. She dropped in the how to get certified SBE or DVBE. So thank you, Andrea, for doing that for us. I don't see any additional questions, but I'll keep an eye out. Let's go ahead and move the deck forward. Yes, Andrea is the best. All right, we've got this is the first in a 4-part webinar series, so hopefully we will see you all next week about how to respond to an RFP, the elements for a successful proposal, the webinar 3, show me the money, creative funding and financing. This is one of the areas where small contractors really struggle. How do you find bridge or contract financing until your either project starts because you've got some upfront cost, or there's going to be a gap between the performance of the work and when you actually get paid by the prime. So make sure you show up for webinar 3. And then webinar 4, managing your team, HR and admin essentials. I'm guessing that y'all started your businesses because you had a talent or a passion for the work, but that doesn't mean that you have an HR background, which I do, and it's a really unique skill set. So how can you make sure that you are managing your team most effectively to be successful in the RFP process and in performing the work? More upcoming events. Stay tuned. There's a lot going on. You'll see them on the screen there, and you can, of course, hit the QR code. I think if you want to do business with SMUD, who is also well invested in the community and supporting the community, there's how to do business with them and proposal writing coming up. So really important to attend. I know it's difficult as you're managing your business, but if you or someone from your team can attend, those that show up, those that develop the relationships with the primes or with the contracting agencies are the ones that will ultimately be most successful. So it's an investment in your business, even though it feels like giving time. Opportunity link, we mentioned that early on. This is the one where it's hosted by the SAC Asian Chamber. It's no cost to you at the moment, and it's just a resource for you to get access to all of the proposal opportunities that are coming down the pike. And then there's tools in there to help you produce, like, your proposal. So you don't have to start from scratch, so which is a huge opportunity. And then there's sponsorship opportunities with the Chamber if you'd like to join us for some of these webinars or other services from the Small Business Utilization Center. We've got this small video from the AGC Summit that was just 2 days ago in real time. Oh, and we had the event hosted by or sponsored by Hensel Phelps at the Rail Yards, April 30th. So a lot happening. Once again, I'm privileged to work with Bernadette Austin, who's the director of the Regional Small Business Utilization Center, and the fabulous Andrea Cal, who's the program manager. They are going to be your connections going forward, making sure that you have all the relevant information you need to be successful. Let's see. That's it? Oh my gosh, we've got 4 minutes left. Is there anything else for the good of the group? Any questions we didn't answer for you? Anything, any burning questions that you need? You've got some pretty heavy hitters in the construction space in front of you right now. All right, getting lots of thank you. Thank you to everyone who joined us on the call today. Thank you to this esteemed panel. I appreciate the insights that you shared and the time that you took in support of the small businesses and the Small Business Utilization Center. So with that, and see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Have a good afternoon.